This is a quick video about the UI placement in my dungeon crawler. What I'm doing is I'm following some of the ways that the Bard's Tale and the Might and Magic 345 had the UI arranged, where basically the upper right corner was where you had the options and you had menus and things like that that you could click on and do things within the game. So starting over just in the normal world when you're running around the world, the upper right part of this has some buttons you can click that let you move different ways. They have a little mini map. They have some other status information. You can click some other things that bring up some menus, but basically it's open. Now let's say I want to cast a spell. For certain things like this where I have options to do something, I'm going to make the upper right part of the game screen into this menu that's going to show a list of things. Often there are little hotkeys. I can either click this or type E or A here, something like that. And the idea that I'm trying to follow is when I have these options in here, I want to show you an info panel on the bottom right that has some information about what I can do with this. So I know that this is a mage, these are the spells, this is a cleric, this is a hunter, all these kinds of things. So then if I say I click on this or I type E, I now see a list of spells that I can cast. And again, each time I roll over one of these, I see a little bit of information about it in the bottom right, but I'm trying to keep the world open as much as possible for this. Now there are cases where I can't do this. I'm gonna try and force a combat here, just kind of walk around a little bit. Big gray background's going to appear. Eventually. Any day. Oh, here we go. So this is a combat. Now you can see what happens in here is that there's a big background that covers over the 3D world. This happens inside of a building, happens when you get treasure, it happens in combat, kind of telling you that you're no longer in the world. The upper right corner, all of these buttons, all the mini-map, all that stuff is gone now. And you now see a little image on the bottom of the thing that you're fighting, but you can still kind of roll over these things to get information about the kind of monsters you have and get information about what this kind of a monster is. But then this kind of shows you the image of the monster. And then up here, again, we have this list of things that'll show you contextual information. And we can do, let's say we're going to fight the dogs. So then we have these options like exactly like in the Bard's Tale, attack, defend, cast. If you go for cast, then you get a list of the spells just like you would in the outside world. Or you can just attack, 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 attack. Do we want to do all these things? Yes. And then get a little scroll and combat log here. Go again. Okay, combat's over. Now we get the treasure screen. We can see, oh, you got this much experience, this much gold, space, boom. Now we're back in the world. And this is the basic idea. I want to keep the world, the 3D world, as visible as possible and mostly have things appear on the right. There's a couple cases where I do have huge pop-up screens. One of those is the info system, where you just have these lists of things, this list of concepts in the game, and you roll over them and you can see things on the right. Now, the thing about this is a little bit more complex than the little thing on the bottom right. This actually allows you to click on something and then start clicking through contextually to see these different kinds of info things and all these different concepts in the game. And then the character, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or click on something and you get this thing coming up. Again, you get these little, for this one, you get these little pop-ups on the right, roll over, roll out pop-ups on the right, kind of telling you what things do in the game. But basically, in general, besides those, generally speaking, I want to keep the main 3D world open, and then when you have a menu of options of things to do, I just want it to appear in the upper right, and as much as possible, I want to have rollovers that will give you a little bit of info in the bottom right. And that's kind of how I'm trying to keep the main 3D screen open in my game.